Hello and welcome to the Sonic Collective at thesoniccollective.com. I'm member Darren Scott, and this month it's my turn to pick an artist and an album to review. First of all, I'd like to wish our members at the Sonic Collective a very happy anniversary. We have now been operating our podcast for 6 years, believe it or not. I can't believe it. We love uncovering the history and the influential artists that helped shape our music. Welcome to year 7 of the Sonic Collective. A big special thanks to all our members, Scott, Coates, Scott, Gregory, Alan Dupuis, and myself, Darren Scott, and a nod to former member Greg Jorgensen. Thanks so much to all of you. And to each of you that listen and put up with us, thanks for listening, because we know we can ramble on sometimes, but appreciate you tuning in. All right, on to the episode at hand. In recent months, we've decided to pick a category or concept to guide a round of music selections for our Sonic Collective members. We've just finished a round of picking influential double albums. Prior to that, we had a round of selections for hip-hop rap. We've been enjoying these rounds, and so we decided to push it even further. We decided to pick a genre that we would all identify as a genre that we would not normally pursue personally. The one genre that we have all agreed hasn't been a big part of any of our personal music collections is country music. So, what the hell? Let's pick a round of influential country music. I can't think of a better way to learn. Not that any of us hate or dislike strongly country music. I think it just wasn't really part of our lives. And some of us more than others. But yeah, we just decided why not try it. Now, I wouldn't say I hate any genre of music, but I have to admit that the more pop-centered country and songs like Body Like a Back Road, with no offense to Sam Hunt, don't connect with me at all. But again, pop music is always made for the masses, and if you really explore the great artists and songwriters of any genre, you are undoubtedly going to discover great music. I'm sure of that. Now, as I get to go first, I have the task of choosing one of these great country artists to kick off our picks. Or sometimes, through fate, coincidence, or whatever else you want to call it, a choice finds you. After our last group call, when we decided to pick the country as our genre for picks, I was watching Netflix. As I was scrolling through, something kind of caught my attention as I was scrolling through trying to find something. And it was Dolly Parton. I just kind of caught this documentary called Dolly Parton, Here I Am. I think it just came out pretty recently. This is of end of November, beginning of December 2020. I think it came out fairly recent, but I saw it. So I don't know why. I love all music documentaries and just will pretty much watch them all. But I just started that one. I wasn't even necessarily thinking about a pick, but I just kind of started. Of course, I know Dolly Parton and I know her hits, but I can't say I ever listened to a full Dolly Parton album ever. As I watched this documentary, I literally became more and more amazed by her story of struggle from being one of 12 children, raised in shacks in rural Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, to her rise to fame in a male-dominated and controlled industry, which, still struggling with that, but definitely back then. I mean, we're going back to the 60s here. Her ability to separate her brand and character of Dolly versus the person Dolly Parton is also quite interesting. It's kind of been remarkable, and the more I learned about her, the more I saw how she did this. And her ability to be inclusive to all and remain neutral during her career, and now, especially now, during a very divisive time, is also often talked about. Everybody just seems to love Dolly, and she seems to be able to do that. I guess she probably adheres to the don't speak about religion, politics, or money. Who knows? I don't know how she does it. But after the documentary, I wanted to know more and learn more about her music, her life, her feminist stances, and how she held the hearts of fans for so long. Strangely, or maybe because of our damn iPhones are listening to us, more Dolly Parton seemed to find me. On Spotify, I suddenly noticed a recommended podcast called Dolly Parton's America. It's hosted by Jad Abumrad, and it appeared in my feed. I decided, what the hell. By now, I was thinking maybe I will choose Dolly, so I listened to this episode of this Dolly Parton's America. But it was really fascinating, and they're about an hour long. I think there's 8 or 9 of them. I'm 4 in now, and her life is amazing. I think I'm totally becoming infatuated with Dolly Parton. If you can't tell. Damn it if she isn't one of the most interesting female artists I've ever researched, to be honest. Like, I'm in love with Dolly. I don't know. Yeah. Even crazier, and you may have heard this, Dolly Parton is now in the news being partially credited with financing a vaccine for COVID-19. By donating $1 million to Moderna, a pharmaceutical company, and they're kind of leading the industry in delivery time to get a vaccine. They're one of the first ones out. Like, sheesh, is there anything she doesn't do well? It's crazy. Okay, I now have the tough choice to make as to which of her albums to pick. I went through a few different options. You know, I was really close to picking her Coat of Many Colors album. I did kind of quickly skim through it. It was amazing. Her Just Because I Am a Woman album, it had this song, and I've discovered this in the documentary watching, and they talked about it also on that Dolly Parton America podcast. They have this song, or sorry, not they, Dolly has a song called The Bridge, and it really talks about this woman that is in just like complete mental distress on a bridge, and talking about the challenges with her relationships and her life. And literally the song ends like she just ends it. It just cuts. You have to go listen to the song. It's absolutely disturbing, basically implying that this woman jumped off the bridge and committed suicide. Like, intense. And I mean, this is out in the 60s. Like, definitely pretty blonde women weren't singing about this kind of thing at that time. So, wow, I had so many good albums to pick from. But, you know, maybe call it selling out a bit, but I landed on Jolene. I think everybody in the world probably knows Jolene. And then there's also another little track on there that Whitney Houston covered, along with many other people. You may have heard of it, called I Will Always Love You. Those, you know, are two of probably the biggest songs in modern history, you know, in kind of contemporary music in the last 50 years. I guarantee there's not too many people that probably couldn't identify at least the name of the song, if not Dolly, on there. But I haven't listened to the rest of the album. I don't know what it's like, but I figured this, you know, to go back and dig in. It's not all the way back to the beginning of country, obviously, but it's kind of in its drive for popular culture. Rock and roll was really starting to come out at this time, and country was kind of waning. But how did somebody like Dolly really carve out this niche? There's so much to unpack about Dolly in this album. You know, I invite you to listen along for the month of December 2020 with us and learn about this album as a whole and the ever amazing Dolly Parton. Join us again at the beginning of January, and you'll hear our assessment and our full podcast and review of this album and Dolly, and get to learn a lot with us. For now, I leave you with this amazing woman and invite you back to thesoniccollective.com and all your favorite podcast platforms to listen to this review and so many more. Enjoy this first pick of our country music artist round. I give you Dolly Parton's Jolene. For the Sonic Collective, I'm Darren Scott, saying goodbye for now.